Welcome to episode 2 of Practical Real Estate with Maciek Czaplinski. For more than 35 years, I have been helping people make better real estate decisions. Over the years, I learned something important. When people buy a home, they often focus on the obvious things. The kitchen, the bathrooms, the size of the backyard, the number of bedrooms. But sometimes the most important decision has already been made before they even walk through the front door. Today I would like to talk about one of the first choices every buyer faces: a detached home, a semi-detached home, a freehold townhouse, or a condominium townhouse. At first glance, the differences seem obvious, but after many years in real estate, construction and home inspections, I can tell you that each of these property types comes with its own advantages, disadvantages, and sometimes a few surprises. Let us start with detached homes. This is where homeowners enjoy the greatest level of independence. You do not need your neighbor's approval to replace windows. You do not need to coordinate a new garage door. You do not need to discuss replacing the roof. If you want to build a deck, update the exterior, or redesign the driveway, the decision is yours. Of course, as long as you follow local regulations. This freedom is one of the main reasons detached homes remain so desirable. But freedom comes at a price. Every repair, every replacement, every renovation comes directly out of your pocket. When the roof needs replacing, there is nobody to share the bill. When the windows reach the end of their life, the cost is entirely yours. The upside is simple. Every decision belongs to you. Next comes the semi-detached home, and this is where a very interesting subject appears: your neighbor. Over the years, I noticed something surprisingly accurate. If you want to understand the relationship between two semi-detached homeowners, look at the roof. If both sides have matching shingles, similar maintenance, and a consistent appearance, chances are the owners work well together. If one side has a brand new roof and the other side looks 20 years older, the cooperation may not be quite as strong. The same thing often applies to windows, garage doors, driveways, and exterior finishes. A good neighbor can be a tremendous asset. A difficult neighbor can turn even the nicest home into a source of frustration. Now let us talk about freehold townhouses. For the first 10 or 15 years, most townhouse developments look fantastic. Everything is new: the roofs, the windows, the doors, the exterior finishes. But time never stops. Eventually, repairs and replacements become necessary. And that is when differences begin to appear. One homeowner replaces the windows, another waits. One installs a new garage door, another postpones the expense. One replaces the roof, another decides to do it later. After a few years, the visual differences become very noticeable. Some older townhouse communities begin to look like a collection of different construction eras. And that is why experienced buyers often look beyond the individual home and pay attention to the overall appearance of the entire neighborhood. There is, however, an important exception. When I talk about townhouses, I am referring mainly to freehold townhouses. Condominium townhouses work differently. If the condominium corporation is well managed and maintains a healthy reserve fund, major repairs are usually planned and completed for the entire community. Roofs are replaced according to schedule. Windows are replaced according to schedule. Exterior repairs are completed according to schedule. As a result, a 20 or 30-year-old condominium townhouse complex may look newer and more consistent than a much younger freehold development. Of course, owners contribute through monthly maintenance fees, but in return they often enjoy more predictable expenses and a more uniform appearance throughout the community. As is often the case in real estate, there is no perfect solution. Only solutions that fit different lifestyles and priorities. Over the years, I have met people who would never consider living in a condominium. I have also met people who never wanted to worry about another roof replacement, lawn mowing, or snow removal. Everyone is different, and that is why there is no single answer that works for everyone. But there is one piece of advice I give every buyer. When you visit a property, do not focus only on the house itself. Look at the neighboring homes. Look at the roofs, the driveways, the windows, the overall condition of the street. Very often, those details tell you more than the listing description ever will, because sometimes the biggest surprise is not hiding in the attic. It is not sitting in the basement, and it is not hidden behind a fresh coat of paint. Sometimes it is living on the other side of the shared wall. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. My name is Maciek Czaplinski, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. We will talk about something every homeowner eventually faces. How long do roofs, windows, doors, and exterior finishes really last? Because homes are a lot like people. The older they get, the more care they need. Special appearances by Peppa. Chief Cat, the Bag Inspector,